Right, Jehovah's Witnesses, listen to this. This is going to be the most important information that you've ever heard, which you will never have heard from Watchtower, the governing body. I'm going to explain what Revelation chapter 6 verse 12 is in a minute. But before that, we're going to read Malachi chapter 4 and verse 5. It says, "Look, I am sending to you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and awe-inspiring day of Jehovah." Right? I am Jehovah's true prophet Elijah reborn, and I have ample, hundreds if not thousands of pieces of evidence that I am the prophet Elijah. Now, many believe that the sending of Elijah the prophet was John the Baptist, because Jesus said, if you accept it, it's Elijah that has come. But that's talking about, Jesus was talking about a future event. And what I always say to these people in the churches and those that believe it was John the Baptist is that Elijah is sent before the great and awe-inspiring day of Jehovah. Well, that didn't happen in John the Baptist's day, did it? This is talking about the future. And also in verse 6 it says, "And he will turn the hearts of fathers back towards sons, and the hearts of sons back towards fathers, so that I may not come and strike the earth, devoting it to destruction." Now, where it says that Elijah will turn hearts of fathers back towards sons, and the hearts of sons back to their fathers, it's talking about those ones of Jehovah's Witnesses have been disfellowshipped or have been disassociated. I will bring back this terrible shunning that Jehovah's Witnesses do, and the Watchtower and the governing body instruct Jehovah's Witnesses to shun anybody that has committed a sin that's obviously not repentant, and also those who have disassociated from Jehovah's Witnesses because they don't believe in the nonsense doctrines anymore and teachings. I'm going to bring them back. They are going to be welcome back to Jehovah's Witnesses when I take over the Watchtower on the 3rd of August 2025. Now we're going to have a look at Revelation chapter 6. Let me just say what Revelation 6 is. This is on jw.org, by the way. It says, "The Lamb opened the 6 seals, conquer on the white horse, rider of fiery-coloured horse to take away peace, rider of black horse to bring famine, rider of pale horse is named Death, slaughtered ones under the altar, a great earthquake." Right, I can explain, excuse me, Revelation 6 verse 12, and it says there, "And I saw when he opened the 6th seal, and a great earthquake occurred, and the sun became black as sackcloth made of hair, and the entire moon became blood." Now, if you go to the asterisk where it says the sun became blood as sackcloth, hang on, let me get the blood one up. Here it is. It's actually cross-referenced that scripture to Joel 2:31. The sun will be darkened into the sun will be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the coming of the great and awe-inspiring day of Jehovah, which is the same terminology, awe-inspiring day of Jehovah, as Malachi chapter 4 verse 5 about when Jehovah sends Elijah. And Matthew 24:29 says, "Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars from heaven will fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken." Now, where it says immediately after the tribulation of those days, that's not talking about the Great Tribulation. It's talking about the coronavirus, right? So we've had the coronavirus. Now we've really come out of it. So this is a sign. The sun will be darkened. And the moon will not give its light. Now, if we go to... I'll explain this now. Right, first of all, it said in Revelation 6:12, there would be a great earthquake. And I can tell you when exactly that sign was. This was on the 1st of January. 1st of January. When was it? 1st of January. Yeah, 1st of January 20... I think it was 2020. Yeah, it was 2024, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was. Yep. Yeah, 2024. January 1st, 2024. Sorry about that. I was getting mixed up. Now, that was a 7.5 earthquake in Honshu, Japan. Right? In the letters, using the letters in Honshu, Japan, you get Joshua, which is my son. Joshua is Jesus Christ in the flesh. Joshua means Jehovah's salvation. Jesus means Jehovah's salvation. Go and download my document in the video descriptions on every YouTube of my YouTube videos, and also from the homepage on YouTube. But that was upgraded from 6.7 to 7.5. 67 is my birth year, 1967. Right, now, if you can see there, the time was at 7:10 a.m., right? Now, what I'm going to do is go into my gematria calculator and see what the 710th chapter of the Bible is. That's Isaiah 31, right? That was the time of the earthquake, 7:10. And the 710th chapter of the Bible is Isaiah 31. Isaiah 31. Yeah, it's talking, woe to those who rely on Egypt. If you read through that, Watchtower and Jehovah's Witnesses, it's talking about those who rely on the Watchtower, basically, right? Now, this is fascinating. If you get that earthquake, where is it? There. And as you can see, the time, exact time, was 7:10 and 10 seconds. 7:10:10, right? If you put that into my gematria calculator, well, what happens is when it's a number, there's basically 1,189 chapters in the Bible. So if you have a number past that, as soon as it gets to Revelation chapter 22, the last book of the Bible, it started Genesis again. So it's just a looping circle. So if I put 7:10:10 in here, oh, guess what? Daniel chapter 9, which is the coming of the Messiah, the 69 weeks and the coming of the Messiah. So what's the chances of that? So that's talking about me, right? Now, this Honshu earthquake was actually mentioned on jw.org, and I'll show you it now and play a bit. Oh, that's not the one. Go to library, go to JW Broadcasting. Oh, by the way, this here, this governing body update number 2. Was it the other one? Let me have a look. That was March. Yeah, this is this one. Look, this is one of the new governing body members.
Brothers and sisters. To begin, we have an encouraging update about Erich.
This is Jacob Rumpf. Well, what's interesting is Jacob is Hebrew for is a Hebrew name, and the equivalent to Jacob in Greek is James, my name. And Rumph, R-U-M-P-H, means stump. And Jehovah's Witnesses, go and read Daniel chapter 4 about Nebuchadnezzar's dream and the tree being cut down, the stump. This is what it's to do with. Right, let's go back to it's gone off. JW Broadcasting. This is the Honshu earthquake, which is Revelation, the first part of Revelation 6:12. And it was, we'll see all the news announcements, governing body update. If you just scroll down, it's number 1. It's David Splain, look. Listen to what he has to say.
Welcome. We're going to discuss the importance of setting personal goals in the ministry. But first, here are some updates. On January 1st of this year, a magnitude 7.6 earthquake struck central Japan. Thankfully, none of our brothers were killed. But over 100 of their homes were damaged, and 2 were destroyed. Also, 9 kingdom halls were damaged. The branch office quickly provided accommodations and other necessities for our brothers and sisters. Soon after, the branch appointed a disaster relief committee and sent branch representatives to visit our brothers in the affected areas. Within just a few days, additional relief aid was delivered to congregations in need. In the Wajima congregation, the elders couldn't account for one sister. To reach her, an elder walked for 8 hours, avoiding landslides and cracks in the ground, until he was able to confirm that she was safe. Congregations in the area, including those severely affected, have held their meetings from the very week the earthquake hit. Most of the publishers have gathered in person to encourage one another. We're praying for our brothers and sisters in Japan and in other lands affected by recent disasters. On January 1st, the Patterson Visitor Center officially opened for tours. Construction began in early 2021 and was completed in September 2023. What will you experience when you come for a visit?
Right. That earthquake go and read Revelation 6:12 again, and that earthquake is this one in Honshu, Japan. I say in Honshu, Japan, you've got the word Joshua. Right, now this is interesting. The next day, this was on the 1st of January, on the 2nd of January 2024, I'm just going to go to YouTube, my history. Where is it?
Happened about 5:45.
This happened. It was an earthquake reported near Astoria, Queens. Right, this is in New York. This is what it said. Here's the date. Look, right, top right hand corner, 2nd of January. So this was one day after the Honshu earthquake, which fulfills Revelation 6 verse 12. And the actual lights is on that is 333, which is quite interesting. This is what the news report said.
1.7 magnitude earthquake was reported near Astoria, but it was also felt by people on the Upper East Side and on Roosevelt Island, which is where we find Fox 5's Linda Schmidt. Linda, what have people there been telling you?
Yeah, well, hi there. First of all, to you, Steve and Natasha. You know, instead of the new year here starting off with a bang, it started off with a rumble here on Roosevelt Island as well as in Astoria, Queens. Now, this all happened about 5:45 this morning. It was a 1.7 magnitude earthquake. And by the way, New York has had earthquakes in the past.
I feel the 3 big booms.
That is what Michael and his family woke up to on Roosevelt Island. The same for Miriam.
All of a sudden, it felt like an explosion, like the room sort of moved, so the walls felt like something like vibrated.
In fact, a lot of people thought it was an explosion, calling 911. The FDNY and Con Ed responding, but did not find any signs of an explosion. Well, it turned out to be a magnitude 1.7 earthquake. The epicenter in Astoria, Queens, could also be felt on Roosevelt Island.
All of a sudden, I felt my bed moving and the building moving and the loud, very loud sound.
Off the top of my head, an earthquake of this size in the New York City area is once or twice a year.
John Armbruster is a seismologist with Columbia University. He says there are several fault lines running under the city, and we have had earthquakes in the past.
The New York City area has had earthquakes as large as magnitude 5.
He calls a 1.7 quake pretty much a non-event. No damage, no injuries, but he says it should not be ignored.
The small earthquake is a reminder that larger earthquakes are possible, and eventually there's going to be another magnitude 5 in the New York City area, but we can't predict when. But the chances are really low.
Okay, now there was a rumor going on out here on Roosevelt Island that one of the buildings lost power, but Con Ed telling us tonight that no one, not one customer, lost power as a result of this. There was just a little bit of shaking going on. Back inside to you.
Wow. All right, Linda, thank you.
Right. That was in Astoria, one day after the Honshu earthquake. Now, if you look, if you go from the distance where it was a 1.7 magnitude earthquake, 17 means total victory. And my friend Trish used to live next door at 17 Harrier Court. It means total victory. If you go from Astoria, Queens, New York, USA, to Columbia Heights, Brooklyn, where the Jehovah's Witnesses used to have their world headquarters, it's 10.7 miles, right? But before that, in the top right-hand corner, well, there, on a bicycle, it would take 48 minutes, right? Now, my favourite book in the Bible is Isaiah. So we'll have a look at Isaiah 48. Isaiah chapter 48. Go and read this, Jehovah's Witnesses. Stubborn Israel. This, listen to this, you descendants of Jacob. There's Jacob again, meaning James. You are called the name of Israel and come from the line of Judah. And then it says, for I knew how stubborn you were. Your neck muscles were iron. Your forehead was bronze. Therefore I told you these things long ago before they happened. I announced them to you so that you could not say, and so on and so on. Anyway, read that. Israel freed. Listen to me, Jacob, Israel. It's talking about when I take over Jehovah's Witnesses on the 3rd of August 2025. But if you go to this again, where the 1.7 earthquake was to Columbia Heights, it's 10.7 miles, right? Now, if you go backwards, that's 7. Sorry, that's 10. 7. If you go 701, the 701th chapter of the Bible is Isaiah 22. Isaiah 22. A prophecy about Jerusalem, which is the watchtower. Therefore I said, turn away from me, let me weep, do not over the destruction of my people. The Lord Almighty has a day of tumult and trampling and terror in the valley of vision, a day of battling down walls and crying out to mountains. Basically, this is talking about the destruction of the watchtower, right? Now, if we take that, well, it's 10.7 miles from Astoria, Queens to Columbia Heights, where the Jehovah's Witnesses had the world headquarters. If we go 710 now, the 710th chapter of the Bible is Isaiah 31. Isaiah chapter 31. Again, I think we just mentioned this, didn't we? Woe to those who rely on Egypt. Yeah, that's talking about those who rely on the Watchtower, the Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, what am I doing now? Now we're going from Astoria, Queens, to the world headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses. And that is exactly 39.0 miles. Right? That's where the earthquake was to the world headquarters, 39. So we'll go, we'll put in the numbers into my English Gematria calculator. 930, right? We'll do those numbers now. And that actually is Matthew chapter 1, which I think, just check. Yeah, that's the genealogy of Jesus, the Messiah, which is my son Joshua. Now, the chapter before that is Malachi chapter 4, which is, I've just said, about Jehovah sending his prophet Elijah, Malachi 4:5. So that's connected up. Now, if we rearrange those numbers to 903, the 903rd chapter of the Bible is, oh dear, that's not good, is it? Watchtower. Nahum 3. Nahum chapter 3, and it's woe to Nineveh, woe to the city of blood, full of lies. That's Watchtower. You are full of blood, governing body, because you instituted the stupid satanic policy of having a no blood transfusion. You are blood guilty, right? The crack of the whips, the clatter of the wheels, galloping horses. I am against you, declares Lord Almighty. I will lift your skirts over your face. I will show the nations your nakedness, which I'm doing now by sending documents out to the news media outlets in the UK and USA. And it says, in the kingdom your shame, I will pelt you with filth. I will treat you with contempt and make you a spectacle. All who see you will flee from you and say, Nineveh in ruins. Right, Nineveh is the Watchtower. Right? Now that's from Astoria, Queens, where the earthquake was 1.7. It's 39.0 miles. If you get your 1984 New World Translation out, the 1984 edition, I'm just going to look. I always use this Bible. I'm going to look on, 39.0 miles. We'll look at 930, page 930 of the New World Translation. It's actually Isaiah 39. That's talking about the envoys from Babylon. Now I'm wondering whether I'm going to get some envoys from Watchtower of Babylon come to see me. Yeah, no doubt. Right, that was page 931. 930. Now we'll go page 903. So it's back a bit. (903) of the 1984 edition. And it's, oh dear me, this is not good, is it? It's Isaiah 13, which is the very scripture I've been saying about Jehovah gathers an army, because I'm Jehovah God. Jehovah gathers an army together out of all the nations against Babylon, which is the Watchtower. And in verse 13, it's a prophecy against Babylon. Raise a banner on the bare hilltop. Shout for joy. Beckon to them to enter the gates. I've commanded those who have prepared for battle. I've summoned my warriors to carry out my wrath. Anyway, go and read that, Watchtower. Right? That's connected with the earthquake in New York, which proves it's supernatural. In verse 10 of Isaiah 13, it said, the stars of heaven and their constellations will not show their light. The rising sun will be darkened. The moon will not give its light. where it says the stars of heaven and their constellations will not show their light, I'm expecting very soon for the stars in the heavens to go out, to completely disappear. Whether the scientists or anybody else will notice, or just me, because I'm anticipating it, I don't know what the sign's going to be, but I will record it. Right, so that's definitely the earthquake. Now, on August the 21st, 2017, a total solar eclipse dubbed the Great American Eclipse spanned the contiguous United States, visible as a total eclipse within a narrow path from Oregon to South Carolina. Well, my son now lives in North Carolina, Jesus Christ, Joshua, and as the partial eclipse across the rest of North America. Right, this was the Great American Eclipse. Now, this was 5 days before my daughter's birthday. Let me just see how old she was. Right, she was born in 1995. So we've got 2017 minus 1995. She would have been 22, which I consider to be Watchtower's number. Jeremiah 22. And my daughter on the 24th, a few days ago of March, was 22. So that's Watchtower's number. This is in The Guardian. First time in 99 years, US total solar eclipse on 21st of August excites scientists. Entire USA will fall into the shadow of the eclipse. Passes with darkest path of totality contained in 70-mile, 130-kilometer ribbon from Oregon to South Carolina. Now, this gets interesting. Don't stop listening to this video, Jehovah's Witnesses. This was 7 years ago, so that's God's number, favourite number. There we go. Now, here it was. This is this is incredible. I knew this was incredible before I started, when I found out. Now, look at the path, right? Look where it came in, Lincoln City. And guess where I live? This was Lincoln City, Oregon, first made landfall. Right? I live in Lincoln City. So this is a sign that I am the Messiah. Right. Prophesied to come Elijah. And there you have Salem. Went through Salem. Salem is the old name for Jerusalem. And then down here, you've got Eugene, which my daughter's name is Eugenie, who had a birthday on the 24th. Oh, no, I didn't notice that. You've got Sweet Home there. Well, I'm going home, aren't I, to see my children again after being disfellowshipped. Well, me and my wife have been separated for I got sectioned and my wife didn't want me back, so we were separated for about 3 years. My wife didn't want me back, so unfortunately I committed adultery. I confessed in front of Samantha, my wife, and 2 elders, Simon Eshelby and Baz Gilderdale. Well, I confessed anyway. They wouldn't have found out. And basically, they disfellowshipped me, the corrupt elders, especially David 7, right? So I was disfellowshipped on the 2nd of June, 2010, which I think was my 20th wedding anniversary. And on the 2nd of June, when I got disfellowshipped, the very same day, Raymond Franz died, and he was a member of the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses, and he was disfellowshipped for exposing Watchtower's false teachings, which is amazing. There's connections to the governing body. But yeah, that's Lincoln City, and just to prove it, there we go. Lincoln City first made landfall at 10:16 AMPDT time. There's more in those numbers, but I'm not going into it now. And there it hit Lincoln City, look. Right, so that was the first eclipse. Yeah, that eclipse, the 17th, 21st of August that I've just mentioned. This is, well, there's actually basically two places in the world called Elijah. There's one in Pennsylvania, as in Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania, and the other one is in Missouri. right? And this is showing on the map how close Elijah was to the total solar eclipse, the great American eclipse that I've just mentioned. So that's connected to Elijah. And then there's Missouri. Look, there's Missouri. I'm just seeing if there's anything around here. Oh, we've got Columbia there. Look, that's just mentioned that Watchtower had their headquarters at Columbia. Was it Columbia Heights or Columbia something? And then if you go to where it came out the other side of America, it's actually gone through Columbia again. That can't be the same one. No, it's not. Two Columbias. Yeah. Right. The next solar eclipse, this was an annular eclipse, the Ring of Fire. It said tomorrow's solar eclipse marks the second of two major solar eclipses visible across the USA. Right? This is the annual eclipse on the 14th of October, 2023, and total eclipse, solar eclipse on 8th of April are both eagerly anticipated by US observers. Now, it's got there at the bottom. This was by this article, BBC Sky Night magazine, was done by Jamie Carter. Right now, if we put the Jamie Carter into Gematria calculator, go and look what Gematria is. Basically, the Jews assigned letters, numbers to letters. It's a form of numerology in the Jewish mystics. If you look on jw.org and search numerology, they condemn it as being satanic, which is really stupid because Jehovah is the greatest mathematician in the universe. So you say maths is it's just crazy. Anyway, that comes up with Jamie Carter comes up with Psalms 140 if you want to read it. But the actual total of Jamie Carter of those letters is 618. Now we'll go backwards 816, right? And this will tell me the 816th chapter of the Bible is Ezekiel 14. Oh, not Exodus. Ezekiel 14. There we go, talking about Watchtower. Idolatry is condemned. Some of the elders of Israel came to me and sat down in front of me. I wonder if they're coming to see me, the elders. Jerusalem's judgment, inescapable, that's Watchtower. So that's that one. Now, if we change those numbers down around of Jamie Carter to 61st chapter of the Bible. Oh dear. Daniel chapter 11. Which is talking about it's talking about the king of the north, the king of the south, and the king of the north. Watchtower is the king of the south, and I'm the king of the north. Let's have a look at Daniel. Bible. Here we go. Daniel chapter 11. Sorry this video is so long, but just bear with me to the end. We want so this annual eclipse is to do with Daniel chapter 11. Let me see if I can get to read it. Yeah, it's the verse 40. Watchtower and Jehovah's Witnesses. This is talking about the time of the end. Right, let me see if I can play it now.
Chapter 11.
No, it's not going to play it. Hang on, I'll go down to this bit. Right, it says, verse 40 to 45, in the time of the end, the king of the south, Watchtower, will engage with him in a pushing, and against him the king of the north will storm with chariots and horsemen and many ships. He will enter into the lands and sweep through like a flood. He will also into the land of decoration, and many lands will be made to stumble. But those that are the ones that will escape out of his hand, Edom and Moab and the main part of the Ammonites. Well, this is talking about me. I'm sending off letters to the documents, to the powerful documents, to the news outlets in the UK and USA. I must have sent out about 100 so far. So this is the ships that are coming to pass through to destroy Watchtower. And in verse 42 it says, and he will keep thrusting out his hand against the lands as regards Egypt, and they will not escape, and he'll rule over the hidden treasures of gold and silver, and over all the desirable things of Egypt, and the Libyans and the Ethiopians will at this escape. Now I thought this was talking about the king of the north, which is me. I thought it carried on now about the king of the north, but it changes. It doesn't say, but this is the king of the south now, the Watchtower. But reports out of the east and out of the north will disturb him, and he will go out in a rage to annihilate and devote many to destruction. And he will plant his royal tents between the grand sea and the holy mountain of decoration. And he will come all the way to his end, and there will be no helper for him. So this is the Watchtower. Things are going to start to disturb the Watchtower soon, when they find out that I'm attacking them. Right. Now this this was the this is the solar eclipse we just looked at. When was it? October the 14th, I think. Where was it? It was 14th of October 2023, right? And it actually came in from Lincoln City again, that side, just above it on the edge. And then it passed through Mountain Air. And guess who lives there? Kim and Mikey Brooks. Kim and Mikey YouTube channel, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. One of the first videos I ever saw after I got disfellowshipped was Kimmy calling the world headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses. Look, Kim, if you ever see my video, straight in the middle, do you remember the solar eclipse across you? And then the interesting thing is, it came out, it just passed San Antonio. I'll explain that in a minute. It came out the other side from Lincoln, who I'm the Christ, to Corpus Christi. And that means body of Christ, which is connects it up to Lincoln City, which is me, right? That's amazing. And then this is the main one. This is a solar eclipse on the April the 8th, 2024 overview. The solar eclipse of April 8th, 2024, also known as the Great North American Eclipse, was a total solar eclipse visible across a band covering parts of North America from Mexico to Canada, crossing the contiguous United States. This is the main one, everybody. This is Revelation 6:12, and the sun will be darkened, and it will turn to sackcloth, black as sackcloth hair. Anyway, go and read it. Right, this is BBC Sky. A complete guide to the 8th of April, total eclipse, including times, locations, so on, so on. Right, that's by Jamie Carter. Now, this is where it came in from Mazatlan, and it went all the way through North America. Now, I told you there was two places in the world called Elijah, and where this label is, that's where Elijah is, Missouri. Straight through 100% darkness across Elijah, and I'm Elijah, so that was a warning sign. And then it actually went through Pennsylvania. I think Elijah's just it's got Erie, E-R-I-E. It's just under there somewhere, Elijah. That's the second Elijah. And here in Toronto, this is Canada, near London. I forget where it is now. Where is it? I think it's near Kitchener. That's where the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Canada is. So it just clipped just out of just past that, but it's really close. So that was a warning sign to the Canada branch, who have called many times, and you ignore me. Put the phone down. I've got recordings on my YouTube channel, and you've had many documents as well. Watchtower, there we are. That's where Georgetown is. Look, that's where it is. So basically the outer edge of the solar eclipse was there. All right, what else we got? This is interesting. So we have the 21st of August 2017 eclipse, top one. Then we have the 14th of October 2020. Was it 2024? No, I forget when it was. Anyway. And then you have the 8th of April. Now, what is interesting, on near Lincoln City, you have Cascadia subduction zone, where earthquakes happen. Then at the bottom, we have Balcons fault line, and then New Madrid fault line. Look at them. Major fault lines where the solar eclipse crosses over. Flipping amazing. Now, this eclipse was the sign of Jonah. So you've got this one from the left coming in from Lincoln City, right? And there, all the things on the left-hand side, you've got places called Cross, Elijah, Enoch, Flood, Groom, Israel, Jonah, Nineveh, Noah, and Rapture. And as I've shown, they're all the names. Now, in the middle of the 21st of August 2017 eclipse, crossing right over the cross section of the 8th of April 2024, you have Rapture, which a lot of the churches believe in the rapture, that Jesus is coming in the clouds to rapture them up to heaven, which isn't going to happen. That's not the rapture, right? Now, I forget where rapture was now. Oh, dear. Was it Missouri? Or Mississippi? Anyway, let me just check something. This is interesting. Oh yeah, it's southern Illinois. Right, so where the rapture crossed over, southern Illinois, there's a place called Little Egypt. Well, if you think about the Watchtower, do you remember the Egyptians that held the Israelites, and Moses went to free them from Egypt? Well, this is the rapture. This is Little Egypt, when the prophet Elijah, Jehovah, basically rescues Jehovah's Witnesses in the rapture, and the rapture is near Little Egypt, the crossover, right? Now, the sign of Jonah. Do you remember the scripture? This is Matthew chapter 12, and it's verse 38. Then as an answer to him, some of the scribes and Pharisees said, "Teacher, we want to see a sign from you." In reply, he said to them, a wicked and adulterous generation keeps on seeking a sign, but no sign will be given it except the sign of Jonah the prophet. Right? Now, this is the sign, everybody, the whole world and the scientists. This is the scripture. Look at that, the sign of Jonah. 3 eclipses. And America looks like a whale. The sign of Jonah. Jonah in the belly of the fish. Go and read the story. Look at that. Amazing. That's on my YouTube channel, Got a Minute. Now, this is what it says on a YouTube channel. April 8th, solar eclipse. Many believe this may have been the sign of Jonah. It is. It actually is Jehovah's Witnesses and Watchtower. You'll never get the governing body telling you this, will you? Now, this is amazing. Look at this cloud in the sky. It's an A for Alpha, right? And I took this on Monday, the 13th of May, 2019 at 10:43 a.m. This is actually, 13th of May is my, I think it was my Yeah, it's my ex-wife Samantha's birthday, 13th of May. She's the daughter of Zion, by the way. Mentioned in read Jeremiah chapter 6. It mentions there. Well, I'll show you in a minute. Anyway, that was the 13th of May. On the 14th of May is the anniversary of Israel becoming a nation. My Samantha is the daughter of Zion, and on the 14th of May is when Israel became a nation. Right, I'm just going to have a look. It says at 10:43 a.m. So if we look in the New World Translation, 1984 edition, Jehovah's Witnesses, this is what this sign is for. And it's on page 1043 is, where are we? Oh dear, this is not looking good, is it? Well, it's just before Jeremiah 52, verse 12, on the 15th, and in the 5th month, on the 10th day of the month, that is in the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, the chief of the bodyguard who was standing before the king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem, and he proceeded to burn the house of Jehovah and the house of the king and all the houses of Jerusalem. Right? So that is talking about Jerusalem and the destruction in Nebuchadnezzar's 19th year. And from when God entered him into me on the 6th of May, 2006, it's been 19 years in 2025 when I take down the Watchtower. Now, on page 1043, it's actually Isaiah 51. On the subheading, it says, Babylon's waters to be dried up. That's Watchtower. Suddenly, Babylon is to fall to the Medes and the Mede and Persians. Now, watch this, everybody. Look at that. I never knew. I kept this picture. Look at that picture, right? The A, the Alpha. Now, that's the cross. That's the, look at the A. There. So what I did, I superimposed that cloud over the solar eclipses, 3 of them. And that's the map I used. And look at that. Oh, my God. How can you argue with that sign, scientists? Look at it. It's a perfect match, that cloud, look. There. Superimpose and you get that. Bloody hell. That is unbelievable. On Samantha's birthday, this proves, these signs prove that I'm getting my wife Samantha, my ex-wife back, my children, who Watchtower have been holding hostage for over 14 years because of shunning. And all my family. I've been in solitary confinement in this bedroom for 14 years, virtually not going out. I've got one friend called Trish. And that's another story. Anyway, this was another A in the sky clouds. This is not chemtrails from planes. This was on Friday the 3rd of August 2018 at 10:32. On the 3rd of August is when I destroy the Watchtower in 2025. And on page, the time was at 10:32. And on page 1032 of the 1984 New World Translation is, oh dear me, not good, Watchtower. Go and have a look. Oh no, I thought it was Isaiah. It's Jeremiah 47, and that says, utterance against the Philistines, that's Watchtower. Utterances against Moab. Excuse me. Right. And there's the proof. That was originally from my camera screenshot. 3rd of August 2018. Now this was a halo, sun halo, which is very rare. I've never seen one before, above my bedroom window where Operation Sunrise is happening to take down the Watchtower. Now this was actually on the 2nd of June 2020, right? Which is my wedding anniversary, which is when I got disfellowshipped in 2010. And this, look, this is when I got married, and we've got that over there. Now that was at 12:27. So we'll look in the New World Translation again. page 1227, because that's the time this photo was taken. And that is Matthew chapter 9 and 10. And it says the heading, calls Matthew, woman cured, raised girl, apostles called, ministerial instructions. Anyway, that's that anyway. Now, this is amazing. Now, where the solar eclipses all cross, now down in the bottom there, the San Antonio, that crossed over. Now, if you put San Antonio into my gematria calculator, the total for those letters comes to 732, right? Which is Isaiah 43, right? Which is this. It's talking about the experiences of the Messiah. Now, the Christendom and the churches and Jehovah's Witnesses believe this is talking about Jesus, but it's not. This is exactly talking about my life. It says, who has put faith in the things heard from us? Me and Jehovah, Elijah and Jehovah. And as for the arm of Jehovah to whom it has been revealed, he will come up like a twig before him, like a root out of parched land. No stately form does he have, nor any splendour. And when we see him, his appearance does not draw us to him. Well, I'm pretty ugly anyway. Well, I'm all right. Pretty handsome, but a bit ugly. He was despised and was avoided by men. Right? That's absolutely true. Since I got disfellowshipped on the 2nd of June 2010, I've been avoided by everybody. All the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses avoid me. Mike and Kim. Kim's just blocked me on where is it? On Twitter, and she sent me an email telling her not to send documents to her or her daughter, and she called me Satan in one of them. Get behind me, Satan. It says, a man who is meant for pains and was familiar with sickness, it was as if his face was hidden from us. He was despised, which I am, and we held him of no account. Truly, he himself carried our sickness, and he bore our pains, but we considered him a plague, stricken by God and afflicted. And then in verse 5, but he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our errors. Now, where it says he was pierced, like Jesus was pierced in the side, I've been pierced because I've been sectioned 10 times since May 2006, and I was on a CTO, a community treatment order from Dr. Bradshaw, who forced medication on me through injection. So that's the piercing, it's the injections of medication, antipsychotic medication. Now, in verse 7, it says he was oppressed and he let himself be afflicted, but he would not open his mouth. He was brought like a sheep to the slaughter, like a ewe that is silent before its shearers, and he would not open his mouth. That was talking about my judicial committee where I didn't say a thing. I was brought for slaughter. Now, verse 10, this is why it's not talking about Jesus, but it was Jehovah's will being tested to crush him and to let him become sick. If you will present his life as a guilt offering, he will see his offspring. He will prolong his days, and through him the delight of Jehovah will have success. It says there he will see his offspring. I am guaranteed through Jehovah's prophet to see my children again. Offspring means seed or children, right? Now, I've shown it now. Anyway, today, the 29th of March, 2025, 11 a.m. in the UK, was a partial, look at that, partial solar eclipse. I caught it at 11:05. It's full maximum. And this was taken from a Canon camera. And I used, a welder's glass, a dark welding, when people are welding car metal and that. Well, this was through a glass. That was through the thinner one, and this was through the thicker one then. There, look at that. I don't know what that mark is there for some reason. It's a bit strange, that. Not on the other photos. Now, this eclipse, the 29th of March... Look at that. It went through New York, straight through Montreal, and to the left there, well, it says up there, Georgetown, right? Guess who's at Georgetown? Look, it's just on the edge, the outer edge of the partial lunar eclipse. Oh, we have, to the left-hand side of Georgetown, we have the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Canada, and to the right, we have the Assembly Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses. There's your warning sign, Canada and Jehovah's Witnesses and Watchtower and the governing body. You've been owned, right? You're in serious trouble. There we go. There's the sign. And this is the eclipses. Alpha first letter. This is the sign it looks like, the eclipse lines. Alpha first letter, alphabet. Tav last letter, X. Look, an X there and an A. Thus the eclipse draws a symbol for Alpha and Omega, beginning and end. Right? So from the 21st of August 2017, the eclipse, to the 4th of the 8th eclipse, 2000, oh, that's 2018. I think, oh no, this is 2024 eclipse. I don't know why it's got that down there. Bit, I've got it there, yeah. From the 17th, 21st of August 2017, the 4th of, to the 4th of April. Yeah, 2024. It's been 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, and 6 days since the 2017 eclipse. To the 24 eclipse is exactly 6666. Isn't that amazing? All numerology of the universe and maths. Now, this is interesting. I got this. If you watch the video, it's called Into Darkness, Jehovah's Witness History, Scans Provided. The YouTube channel is called The Screw Generation. And it gives a map of North America. This is where Charles Taze Russell, I think it was 1884 in the 1880s. This is the congregations he set up in North America, right? Now, look at this. The April the 8th, 2024 eclipse goes straight through there, basically. So that's the sign that Watchtower is going down and the congregations. I know I'm right. There's no other explanation for these solar eclipses and Revelation 6:12. You get me a better explanation than this. The governing body will never see this because there's Satan's controlling the minds of Jehovah's Witnesses. Right, that's the end of that. I'm just going to check something on the 2024 eclipse. I can remember a figure somewhere. I'm going to go to Warwick. I see the world headquarters. Warwick. Now, there's North America. See, it was outside the 8th of April eclipse. There's some figures in here. I can't remember now. Some numbers in there, and I can't remember. What time was that at? No. Anyway, I'll come up with that. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here because it's about 58 minutes. I hope you watch this video to the end because it's been interesting. Anyway, bye for now.